Well, the legislature and all of Olympia really needs to have more budget discipline.
Former Washington Governor and U.S. Ambassador Gary Locke is sharply criticizing state lawmakers. He is now the second former governor and Democrat to suggest the legislature is spending too much money it doesn't have and losing trust with voters. Good evening, I'm Steve Solis.
And I'm Molly Shen. KOMO senior reporter Chris Daniels talked with Locke today and joins us now live with more. Chris.
Molly, as you know, Gary Locke has worn a lot of hats. He was the governor of the state of Washington at the turn of the century, also the U.S. Commerce Secretary under President Obama. And he says the state is currently spending money it does not have, and that has created a lot of distrust, he says, and he is not alone in that criticism.
Well, the legislature and all of Olympia really needs to have more budget discipline.
Former Washington Governor Gary Locke does not mince words.
You're creating a lot of distrust and disappointment with the voters.
Did the Democratic Party in Washington state get away from fiscal restraints?
Number one, they've taken one-time money and used it to pay for permanent programs. And then when the one-time money goes away, they're suddenly in a lurch.
And that's why Locke, the two-term Democratic governor, is questioning plans for a new millionaires tax with latest revenue forecasts showing projected declines.
Is that something that you think voters should preserve?
The issue really isn't whether or not you should have the millionaires tax. The question is, what will Olympia do with that money if the voters say yes? The problem is that even with the millionaires tax, they've promised an expansion of a whole host of programs. And yet, even with the millionaires tax, they're already facing a budget shortfall.
His comments echo those of former Governor Christine Gregoire, another Democrat who followed Locke in Olympia.
We will see an exit of businesses and people.
Seattle Kraken and One Roof Sports and Entertainment CEO Todd Lewicki also joined the chorus at a business roundtable last week.
I've been a lifelong Democrat. I'm telling the Democratic Party it is time to wake up. We can be a blue state that has a fiscal plan. Today, we're a blue state without a fiscal plan.
They will not have enough money, even with the millionaires tax, to continue existing programs.
Locke says the legislature and current governor need to reestablish so-called priorities of government like he did more than 20 years ago.
You need to know how much money you're going to have, and then you have to establish priorities and rank all state programs against those priorities. You need to use realistic assumptions of the money coming into Olympia. You cannot hope for money that's not going to come in.
When Locke was governor in Washington state, he asked those departments to prioritize programs, and that led to consolidations and cuts within them. Now, Governor Bob Ferguson has said repeatedly he will not be pitching any new tax as a part of his budget proposal, but he sidestepped a question last week from reporters when asked if he would listen to other legislative proposals that would potentially increase revenue or increase taxes, saying there is a lot of time to discuss it between now and the start of the next legislative session in January. For now, live in Seattle, I'm Chris Daniels, KOMO News.
Chris, thank you.